Hello everyone, welcome to the bench. This is the second March bench update to see how Dave has done since the update that I did at the beginning of March, and I think you might be suitably impressed that I've moved along. Well, moved probably a bit adventurous for me, more like shuffled. We've had a shufflette, shall we say, is the dear old Snazwagon. Not much for the actual vehicle, but we have got the driver orc in place. I had to take his arm off because we was having a bit of an issue getting him in the right position with his arm on, so I've got to reattach that and then I can put the roof on. So we still got this centre console to do. Now that the driver figure, or the driver orc, should we say, don't really know what to call him. Drive orc. Yeah, drive orc. Orc drive. Orc drive sounds better. I've still got these bits to do. I've still got this back piece to do, and yeah, the roof to go on, and I think there's a few other bits and pieces, and yes, I still need to paint the exhausts on both sides and do a little bit of weathering, and yeah, we still got quite a way to go, but we're moving along slowly. You know me, I never rush. It's looking a little bit better now. I'm really happy with it. I've really enjoyed this one. And I've got another one, but for the life of me I can't remember what it's called, but it's another little buggy styled orc-mobile. Yeah, I think I'm going to need to do a little bit of touching up on the paintwork where I've been handling it, and yeah, but we're moving on. So to carry on with the orcs, let's put that over there out the way. Now we've got the second orc that is waiting to go into the rear of the Snazwagon. If we turn him around like that, hopefully you can see he's almost there. I've got these medallion type teeth to do, and got to do the emblem on his belt, and the same again on the Molotov cocktail bottles. This is a little bit bright, so I'm going to have to tone that down a little bit. Otherwise, and paint the handle. So yeah, we still got a little way to go, but he's looking menacing. I think he had a few too many beers the night before because he's got red eye. So that's the orc figure. And I don't know if I'll have to turn him upside down. Oh, here we go. That looks a bit better. So hopefully you might be able to make out that I've got some, I've used some Tamiya Clear in here, in these lines maybe, to try and give it that tattoo blue look, if that's the right terminology. I'm sure someone will let me know. Yeah, and I think I've still got to put another wash on it just to bring the body down a little bit more and give it a little bit more definition in the shadows. So, but it's work in progress. We're getting there, slowly but surely. Now, as everybody knows, or hopefully everybody knows, I took part in the not the M4X, the Model Officers 48-hour birthday bash, and this is what I've done so far. Yeah, I think I bit off more than what I could chew to get done in 48 hours, but we've got scratch built some different style headlights to go on the front. I've got to, there's some small holes, location holes on either side that have got to be filled. We've got some resin printed wheel arch flares in place. Now, I didn't intend to do this, but I have drilled out these side vents for no other reason than just because I can and just because I did. I didn't realise, or I didn't know it was going to take as long as it did, but hey, does it add to it? Yes. Did I need to do it? No. But do I feel better for doing it? Yeah, I do. We've had to give the roof a good old sand because we filled in where the spare wheel would sit. Now, I'm not sure if I'm just going to leave it as a roof or if I'm going to try and find or design like a roof basket or something to go on top. Don't know. It's a bit... might be a stretch too far. But what I still need to do is do the panel lines here, just so they get a little bit more definition to them and a little bit more depth. This is going to be like the storage area for where all the boxes of model kits that are being sent out to M4H or emergency service personnel beneficiaries, because I'm going to make a decal that's going to go down the side of each door, and it's just going to read beds, beneficiary express delivery service. I thought it was rather apt. So inside we've got some rather snazzy red sports bucket seats, he says carefully. There is a host of other bits and pieces to go in. In here we've got the dashboard, and yeah, I am a bit sad because it's got a 1980s radio stereo cassette player with amplifier. We've got a Formula 1 styled steering wheel with flappy paddles, speakers to go up. Well, at the moment the plan is they're going to go in there somewhere. I don't know if they're going to go at a jaunty angle or if they're just going to fix on the back wall. Not sure at the moment. That's that, and that's all we've got in there at the moment. We've got some rather snazzy wheels that have had a coat of semi-gloss black over the rims, and I think I might need to do it again because they're not quite shiny enough, but I also need to do the treads. Under here I've got brake disc and calipers that I've still yet to paint. So the colour scheme, oddly enough, for this is going to be, the main body area is going to be pearl white, and the front wings are going to be mica red sprayed over lemon yellow. So hopefully that should pop, and it's going to, and the red will continue on these, because if you look at the M4H logo, it's red and white. So there's going to be a decal go on the bonnet somewhere with the M4H logo, and if I can do it, if I can get it small enough and legible, I'm going to have a sun visor, the old 1970s 1980s stick it on yourself with him for her. In other words, it's a cut down of him for her. I don't particularly want to make any names up. I thought that would be a bit generic and yeah, a little bit different. The side windows will be ever so slightly smoked, and probably one or two sprays, and that'll be it for the clear parts, just enough to give a hint of colour. The McLaren 570S is still pretty much where it was at the beginning of the month, I think, to be fair. Definitely keeping the matte black. I've been given the suggestion of using lead belcher. I'm just going to have a bit of lead belcher on these sweeps over the door and connecting to the roof on both sides. This piece here is going to go lime green, and I think there's also an area on the door where this runs onto will also be lime green. lime green, light green even, put that over there. Engine, I don't know, possibly it's moved on a little bit, yet still need to do a little bit of clean up where I didn't quite get the masking right, but it's not too much of a problem. But as you can see, the light green does have a certain pop value to it. I think on the side of the car, that green is going to really pop. If it's done in a small amount, it's really going to pop out against the stark black of the matte black on the body shell. The seats I've started working on. I wasn't sure which way to go until I did the paintwork. I am going to go with the green. This will get painted over and will become light green to match in with that. So that's the McLaren. As you all know, me and Colin are working on the armoured JCB digger, which is a great bit of fun. So we've been working on that on Wednesdays. The teeny tiny Typhoon has had a little bit of paint on it. I've done it with a hairy stick, and to be fair, I'm not convinced. I think I might do this again, but use the airbrush and do it properly, because this will go on the M4H desk for display that Malcolm's got in mind. We've now got the Churchill, and as you can see, the Churchill has gone from being in primer to now being painted in dark green. Wheels have been done. I've still got to do some weathering and so on and so forth on the trailer, and as you can see, I've started to do the weathering. I think I might need to go over this area again with a bit more odorless thinners, because it's just a little bit, the changing colour is a little bit too stark, so I need to bring that down a little bit more. But I'm not entirely sure if it's coming out at all, but I've started to do chipping, and I've got some scratch marks of where it's been up against bushes and trees and whatnot, and it's looking a little bit second hand. Shout out to Colin, huge thanks for your patience in telling me what I needed to do and how I needed to do it. And for those that would like to know, I haven't used the brush technique of putting on the chips. I've used the sponge technique, and then just keep turning, and either turning the sponge or turning the model, and or both, to try and keep the pattern as random as I possibly can. Yep, still very much work in progress, but we're moving forward. Yeah, it is, if you've never done chipping or anything like that before, it is extremely therapeutic. So if you've had a really crappy day at work, sit down and just do some chipping, and before you know it, you'll be as calm as a mill pond. Where am I now? So that pretty much covers everything that I've been working on. I've invested in some new paints, well, new paints to me anyway, the Tamiya lacquer paints. So we'll see how we get on with that. Now that I've managed to get my spray booth working, I can now do some nasty nif paint spraying, and it can all get extracted out and so on. I've even found the other pack of spray booth filters that I bought and thought I'd lost them, but I found them. So I've now got 3 filters, so I've got plenty to keep me going, so there's no excuses. And I've got a new power adapter for it. There's no excuse. I can carry on and do my spraying and get it all taken out through the extraction hose, so that will be brilliant. I think that's about it, really, to be fair. What else is there? Oh yes, a little bit of self-pimpage, and also an apology to my Patreons due to work and just general life things, and getting involved in a 48-hour build that probably I shouldn't have got involved in, but I did. The updates for my Patreon channel have been a little bit lacking, so I do apologise. I will I will extract my finger, and I will be doing some more work. I have a feeling I'm going to be doing some chipping on the Challenger tank that I'm working on over on Patreon, so I'll probably be sat here doing lots of chipping on the turret and trying to get that moved on. I will probably do a photo update because watching a video of me being the idiot doing the chipping probably not going to be very entertaining, so I will be posting some photos of that. No, I think that's it. I'm pleased where I am. I've moved on. I've got the Churchill from being in plastic and then into primer, and now it's got the dark green on it, and we're now working on doing some chipping and weathering and generally making it look like it's been through 1 or 2 battles. The snaz wagon and the figures for the snaz wagon are coming on very nicely. Oh, and another update for patrons. The 2 other vehicles that I'm working on that I thought I'd put away somewhere so very safe that I couldn't find them when I was looking for something else, as is always the way, I found them, so I can also do some work on those as well. So yes, Patreon, there will be updates coming. There'll be some photos and there'll be some videos, so it's work in progress. So if you would like to support me on Patreon, it's patreon.com/modelmaker Dave's workshop. It would be great to have you. Totally understand if you choose not to, because yeah, pennies are getting a little bit short and a bit tight, so yeah, totally get that. But if you can, brilliant. If not, not to worry. So I think I'm going to round up because I'm now starting to whittle on, and I am simply going to say thank you very much for watching. As always, stay safe, stay well, enjoy your model making, and I will see you in the next one.